Hey everyone, welcome to another real estate video. This is Javier Vidana, the real estate YouTube guy here in Phoenix, Arizona, helping you accomplish your home goals. And I'm sitting here today with Lizzie Hofer. You guys probably recognize her from that video you flamed us on a few months ago. So check this out. So we made a video almost about a year ago, I think, where I called her up, and that's when I was barely starting to make videos, and I said, hey, I've been researching this thing online. There's this scam where people are trying to do something with another and pay off their mortgages quicker. I'll admit I did something wrong where I called it a scam or scheme, and I came into it trying to expose something that doesn't need to be exposed. But we came in, we went in, and we've gotten a lot of feedback. Although I will say the likes are higher than the dislikes, but we focus on the comments that came in, positive or negative. We've done our research, and we want to make a follow-up video with a lot more detailed. And instead of coming from a point of trying to expose, trying to educate you guys on how it works. So Lizzie, what was your experience with that video?
So one of the things about that video that I really disliked is, one, it was my very first attempt at a YouTube video. I was super nervous and didn't want to offend people. And I think that because I was trying to be so neutral, I didn't really come off as informed or opinionated. And I have a ton of opinions about this thing. In fact, I have a lot of personal experience with velocity banking, and specifically a multi-level marketing company that really pushes this, because back in the day when the real estate market was, thriving, this was something that was being sold to customers over and over again. And then when the market crashed, a lot of clients were ended up with close-end lines of credit that they could no longer borrow from and just extra debt. So for me, I didn't come into this with an unbiased opinion, even though I was trying to give an unbiased statement. So in today's video, I'm just really going to talk about my actual opinions, what velocity banking is, and pros and cons. And as a general concept, I do think that it makes sense. But in practicality, everyday human life, I just don't think it's something that I would push out there to everyone.
Yep, awesome. And before we begin, I want to be in full disclosure here. One of the biggest issues I personally have with this is I feel information should be accessed easily. And if you want to research something, you want to explore it, that's your power. But one of the biggest faults I saw is when I would start researching these things, you start digging, you watch a video, they don't really give you all the info. You keep watching other videos, and you have to dig deep or go on Google or separate ways to find out what the heck they're talking about. So one of the biggest issues I saw is that as soon as you start finding what the real information is, and they hit you like, hey, if you subscribe, if you sign up for a monthly service. So it's not easy to find this information on their own. So if you're into it, you're researching it, please use this video as a starting point from a perception of a realtor and a lender, one of the top, the number one female, loan?
I'm the number one female loan officer in the country.
Yes, so with a caveat, yes, we are a realtor and we benefit from home purchases and people who are out there buying houses, but she's gonna explain why that really doesn't matter to her and it affects her bottom line. So go ahead, Lizzie, I'll give you the floor. What the heck is this velocity banking? What is this HELOC thing? How does it work, and is it effective?
So what the heck is velocity banking, right? Sounds very intense. And essentially the concept is you would leverage your real estate investment. So let's say you bought a house, it's worth $150,000. You owe $100,000 and you take out a line of credit for $25,000. Essentially, that line of credit on your house, which is also known as a HELOC, becomes your primary operating account, right? So you treat this as your checking account. So essentially, you pay all of your bills from there, and then whatever disposable cash flow is left over, you then apply that towards the balance of your primary mortgage. So the benefits of that is that you're doing a whole lot of principal reduction payments, which reduces the amount of interest that you'll pay and will shorten the term of your loan. Now, the negative impacts of this are you have to pay this off every single month. Otherwise, you are just paying interest on your monthly expenses. Now, the other thing is that there is no I haven't seen any fixed-ended lines of credit. Typically, those are variable rate interests. And as we've seen in the last year, interest rates for short-term loans like lines of credit have been going up. So in order to really implement this strategy well, the balance has to be paid off on 100%. Otherwise, you're just going to pay additional interest at a variable rate for all of your household expenses. And as we've seen in the last year, short-term interest rates like lines of credit have been going up along with mortgage rates. So you would hate to pay additional interest at the highest rate for your household debt. Another thing to really consider, because I know that there's very passionate people promoting this that were commenters on the last video, is if this was really the most amazing strategy in the entire world, you'd hear people like Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, Susie Orman, I mean, all of these major Dave Ramsey, financial strategists pushing this out as the way, right? And it's not anything new or revolutionary. Like, it's not. This has been around for many years. It's practiced in many other countries, and it's just a way that you can get ahead. It's not the only way. And if you look up any statistics online, like US Census data, I mean, just a basic Google search, you will find that most Americans are over $100,000 in debt, and exposing them to a line of credit will probably just make them even more in debt. So yes, as a general concept, could you pay off your mortgage faster with principal reductions? Absolutely. Has this worked for people? Absolutely. There's many people who have won with this strategy. Absolutely. Okay. So do I think it's a scam? No. What I do think is that it's heavily affiliated with multi-level marketing companies and subscription services that charge you money to educate you on how to do it, tools for how to track your expenses, and you can find all of this information for free on the internet. Now, the last thing I'm gonna talk about with this, because this is a thing that I'm the most passionate about, and if you ever subscribe to anything that I put out, it's to help you make practical, everyday decisions that will have a major impact on your financial situation. So when I talked in the last video about why I think leveraging like 30-year mortgage is important, it's because right now, even though interest rates have gone up, they're still historically low. We're talking about low 4%. And if you can borrow credit at 4% and leverage your retirement accounts, invest in the stock market, you know, other types of investments, you're earning right now anywhere between 6 and 20% depending on the type of investment. So what you save in interest, you are actually losing double or triple maybe on the potential like cash increases of an actual investment that grows. Real estate is an amazing vehicle for getting ahead, but it is like a creative savings account, right? So that's how I see real estate, because the overall increase in value, the equity that you earn, is going to be the same whether or not the house is paid off or not. Like, that change is no different whether you have a mortgage or you don't have a mortgage, right? But the potential investment that you will lose from not investing in your retirement, paying high interest debt on things like your credit cards or, you know, your student loans, right? Those things are way more detrimental to your future than leveraging a mortgage that you probably will not keep for 30 years. So I'm not saying that having debt is more important. I'm just saying that saving and investing money probably gives you bigger bang for your buck.
Once again, there's always gonna be negative comments, and if you're a Dave Ramsey no debt guy, you're gonna hate me anyways, or hate us anyway. So, but for the people out there that had some genuine concern about it, the biggest thing was, well, of course you're gonna say that you're a lender, or of course you're gonna say that you're a realtor, but how does this really affect you though?
So I actually make all of our loans on purchase loans, just so that you guys know. I do some refinances, but if you actually pay time to like research what I do, I'm a purchase lender. And this strategy is after you've already gotten a mortgage. So no, I don't benefit from lines of credit. I can sell them. I typically refer them out because they're cheaper for the client. And I'm not a big proponent of doing things like cash out refinances anyway, if you ever listen to the stuff I do, because I just don't want to put people into more debts. And is there a clientele for this? Is there a market for this? Sure.
Yeah.
I think that if you have, you know, really disciplined spending habits, and you're now like in that part of your time where you need to definitely be concentrating on debt reduction and you don't want to be aggressive with your investments, and we're talking about wealth management, heck yeah, this probably is something that you should look into. But we're talking about first-time homebuyers, first-time investors. These are the people that typically seek out my advice and your advice.
Yeah.
And those people right now, guys, I'm thinking, yes, be aggressive with your strategies. You know, if you can double the investment, leverage a mortgage.
If we're open to this dialogue, if you guys are out here, well, first and foremost, we're not out here trashing what you're trying to sell.
No.
Everyone has a hustle. We get it. But it's really unfortunate there's not a clear and precise way for people to learn about this without having to sign up for something. So if we're open to have a dialogue, if you are one of the people that we put on the thumbnail of the last video, I'll probably put you on this thumbnail too, who knows. We're open to a dialogue. We're willing to go on a podcast. We're willing to talk about this because I think once, like she said, it's for a certain criteria, and if it fits your needs, perfect. But for the general and average home buyer, sometimes it doesn't make sense to go through these really aggressive routes. When your first home, as Lizzie talks about on her Money Tip Mondays, is your first investment. And sometimes using it too aggressively can long-term affect you in a negative way, correct?
Absolutely. Like when you're taking your cash flow and using it towards applying it towards something that is going to appreciate at the same rate, you just like eliminate so many other possibilities, so many other choices that could maybe maximize that. So, I mean, I think that's really just the driving point for all of the videos that I put out, and what you're trying to do is just educate people. But do we think it's a scam? Absolutely not.
Nope.
You know, you can research velocity banking, and that's the actual term for how you would do this. There's tons of articles that explain this, right? You can do this on your own. You can actually even probably implement this if you tried it on a savings account, right? I mean, there's ways of doing this without having to get a line of credit. The strategy is smart, but you have to make sure that it's not limiting you on your investments.
Yep. So there's no, well, like we said in our original video, there's no easy way or short way to pay off your mortgage sooner. Hard work, extra payments. Maybe we spoke a little too freely about the whole making 2 payments a month thing, right? Remember we talked about that?
Well, we talked about, well, no, I mean, all of these things are super important. Bi-weekly payments is a way of paying down your mortgage responsibly.
There was someone that commented, oh my God, what the hell are they talking about? It doesn't actually help. What are they saying?
Yes, you're paying one extra payment towards your principal. Of course, you're going to knock off interest with that and years with that. Is it as aggressive or accelerated as 7 years? No, it's not as sexy as saying you can pay your mortgage off in 7 years, okay? I get that, but it is also a strategy. What I like to talk about are practical ways of accomplishing things and getting ahead. It's like those crazy diets, right? Yeah. Lose 20 pounds in 1 week, just starve yourself and only drink water. It's like...
That's what I'm doing right now.
Right? I mean, we just have to be practical. It's like, if, let's say you do this, right? Yeah. So you get this line of credit and you're putting all of your disposable income into a line of credit, right? So that's what you've decided to do. And then let's say that you decide you want to buy something, or you decide that something happens, then you have to borrow from it, and then all of a sudden now you're paying interest on that, and then next month it compounds because you have this to do. Like, you know what I mean? It's just, I can see where it can become a slippery slope.
Yep, and let's be real, guys. If you're like me, because I'm certainly this way, if there's extra lines of credit or credit cards to pull from, I'm definitely going to, I'll say that I won't use them, but I abuse it sometimes. So it's only human. So having that there is tempting. So having one less temptation, at least for me, makes more sense. So Lizzie, thank you so much for your time. She actually has her own YouTube channel. Check out Lizzie Hofer. You can. She's going to be tagged here. She's going to be tagged at the end of the video and also in the description. Check her out. Let's help her get her to 1,000 subscribers in the next few months. She makes videos every Monday, not just about real estate, just general money tips to help you with your finances and your life. So she's an awesome person to follow and subscribe to. Check her out, please. And of course, once again, we're open to a debate. If anyone out here wants to talk more crap on the comments, go ahead. Let's go on a podcast. Let's settle this. Let's do it. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, well, let's not be too aggressive, but we're open to a dialogue. Anything else you want to finish this video with, Lizzie?
Just thanking you. You're like my favorite person in real estate. You guys, this guy keeps it real. He's always about educating, promoting, making sure that we all are honest at the end of the day, which I love. And so thank you so much for supporting me, promoting me to do this. And so
yep, I appreciate that. Thank you. Awesome. Thank you, guys. And if you are in the Phoenix, Arizona area and you're looking for a real estate agent, all of our contact information can be found below. If you're not in Arizona and you're looking for a real estate agent, there's a link in the description. Watch that video and follow the instructions, and we'll definitely set you up with the right person. Thank you guys very much again. Thank you for your time. Make it a wonderful day.